So, another question that I often see pop up on different pages is what do you pack when you go kayaking? So, I thought I would just give you an outline of what I'm taking on the Glenelg River trip. By no means am I saying I'm an expert. I'm not offering tips. I am offering tips, but take what you feel comfortable. I do subscribe to the theory that less is more. Um, if you can't carry it, don't take it. I subscribe to that theory, I just don't practice it very well. Unfortunately, I can carry a lot, so I take a lot, and I'm very much I'll take it just in case packer. So I do, yes, take probably more than I should, definitely more than I should. This is just an outline of what I am taking. So, just a rain sort of jacket just to cover my solar panels. I do have a CPAP machine with a heavy battery and big solar panels required. So that sits on the back of my kayak charging. That battery can run my machine for theoretically 16 hours. But that's obviously essential to not to keeping me sleeping at night. I'm debating about taking an additional solar panels for my phone. We'll see. Kayaking shoes, which I am insistent on wearing, having capsized on the Murray at the beginning of the year and hitting a lot of logs and things like that, and then putting my foot down in mud. I was very grateful that I had those on. Like my life jacket, I wear them all the time. Some kayaking gloves. I have a sit on top kayak, so scupper plugs along with my paddle, and my trolley will also go on my kayak. My life jacket, yes, it's not a kayaking life vest, and yes, I am also aware of the challenges of this particular life jacket. If you're not aware, do your own research. I just don't kayak enough to fork out for a vest. But that is also under review. I may treat myself to a proper one Christmas time. And also, I'm on rivers a lot of the time. I don't go out into the ocean. Um, yeah, look, do your own research about that. That's what I'm taking. Day pack with some water. How much water? I'll come back to that. A torch, insect repellent, tripod, bit of sunscreen, binoculars. I'm taking some ear plugs because the Women's World Cup cricket's on, and I'm gonna listen to that during the night. Some gloves, waterproof gloves, a battery pack. I do have tonsillitis at the moment. Some sunglasses, a hunting knife, always comes in handy. Some waterproof socks. Sometimes just with a sit on top kayak, I just get a bit sick of being wet all the time, particularly around my feet. So it just, I don't know, just makes me a bit happier sometimes. A hat, a raincoat, and then that goes into a dry bag. So that's pretty much what I have, just very handy on my kayak. A tent, a thermarest, and a sleeping bag. I suffer the cold, so that is packed for the Himalayas still. It does scrunch down significantly, so it looks big now, but it scrunches down. Clothing is pretty minimal. I will wear bathers and pretty much stay in my bathers. Nevertheless, I take a sarong for everything that I do. I find sarongs amazingly helpful. A blow up pillow, it's not clothing, but it's an indulgence. I like it. Tracky dacks and sweat shirt. Some thermals as well, some long johns and a thermal top. Some pants that also turn into shorts just in case I go hiking and walking, and also just if it gets a bit too sunny on my legs. Again, the sarong's really handy for that, but so are some sun protecting long pants, couple of kayak shirts. They've got great deep pockets for my PLB and also zips pockets for my phone. Great collars, so very good sun protective. They're long sleeve, and I love them. Just some sneakers for walking, lightweight, some gloves, a beanie, and some warm socks as well. That's pretty much it. As I said, I'll be kayaking bathers and with my shirt on and potentially my pants, but that's it for clothes. A couple of pairs of undies, but you don't need to see that. And then cooking equipment is pretty minimal. I'm big on my coffee, so coffee. I've got a plate, a mug, a bowl, and a couple of pots. Realistically, I just need that one in the middle that boils all the water and all the milk that I will need for this trip, but I just take the secondary one. Tea towel and scourer, rubbish bag. I just take ordinary knives and forks, really, not any fancy lightweight hiking ones, but you can. And then it looks like a lot of gas bottles for a few days, but they are all sort of half, 3/4 empty from other trips. So I've got the space. I'm going to be taking them and just finishing them off. I have tested it just before I go, and also, of course, I've checked that I have the poles and pegs for my tent. First aid kit is pretty minimal for this trip. I've got a spare torch, some paracetamol, antihistamines, Nurofen, and some tapes, Aquatabs, toothbrush, toothpaste, band-aids, pressure immobilization bandages. I've also got a couple in my day pack as well. I have a phobia of snakes. It's my biggest fear. I find tweezers and a safety pin come in handy, toilet roll, triangular bandage, a comb that's not going to touch my hair, but I'll take it. And food and water. So the question of how much water do you take? I am the wrong person to answer that question. I don't get thirsty and I do get dehydrated. So yeah. Look, I'm taking a 10-litre bladder. I will take a litre of water in my day pack on the kayak, and then I might, just for the sake of splitting up that bladder, put some water into another bottle. I suspect I'm probably going to come back with half of that. I know I shouldn't. I should drink more. I'm endeavouring to. How much water you take? Look. Depends on the weather, the conditions, how long you're going to be away, whether you have the chance to refill, how close you are to towns, etc., etc. I'm taking the 10 litres water. It's a bit heavy. It's quite heavy, but I'm taking it. On to breakfast. I am indulgent with coffee and sugar and UHT milk. I do have some coffee bags and some powder milk. I can carry it, so I'm taking the UHT milk. A little bit of orange crystals just to make the water a bit more interesting, to encourage me to drink more. And then just some cereal. And I'm trialing these packs for breakfast. I bought them ages ago, never used them. Thought this was a good trip to use. Otherwise, a lightweight cereal does me. Lunches, I find the hardest to organise. This trip, I'm taking some wraps with some cheese, salami, tomatoes, and this fantastic packaged hummus, which Paddy Palin sells. Woolworths and Coles used to, but I can't find it anymore. Sometimes I take fado wheats. Sometimes I'll take some cans of tuna. Just mix it up again for a few days worth of lunches, eating the same thing day in, day out. Not going to be a problem. It's variety on the longer trips I struggle with. Snacks. I got a lot of snacks, fruit, apples are good. I love bananas, but they're going to get squishy. So a bit of seaweed to munch on. Popcorn's really light, and then I do like my ginger nut biscuits in the afternoon. Occasionally for longer trips, I'll take some chocolate for the evening as well. But yeah, that's a lot of snacks for a few days, and yeah, primarily I wish I could take more fruit, but there we have it. You can take some nuts and dried fruit as well. I've just taken seaweed this time instead. Dinner's pretty simple. Look, I don't mind the variety of backcountry. I take a bit of pasta, occasionally add some tuna in. I have on previous occasions taken curry mixes and dehydrated vegetables. I know a lot of people dehydrate their own meals when they hike. Fantastic. I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't do that much of it. I actually find these meals fine. When you've been kayaking or hiking a lot, at the end of the day, you'll eat anything. I'm just taking an extra soup. It is heavy, just in case I need to camp for an additional night or on the way back. And then when I've had a really crappy day, sometimes a hot chocolate at night is just a really nice indulgence. That fits into 3 of my bags. So yeah, it looks a lot. It packs up really minimally. I think some of the heaviest things are probably the water, the UHT milk, and then some of my medical equipment as well. But yeah, look, you could lighten this up significantly by having different equipment, by taking less of different things. You could snap your toothbrush handle to make the load lighter and go really crazy. It's not necessary for this trip. It's not going to make my kayak go much faster, given that the whole intention of this trip is to actually just cruise along and enjoy it. And the weight in my kayak is not going to be reduced significantly by doing some of those changes. So I hope that is helpful to you as to what you take.